I hope that you have seen some of these photos. Of course, in NASA, they've been, of course, doing a little bit of studying, and we finally can see some of the pictures from the James Webb Telescope. So this is one of the photos. It's Carina Nebula, and this is actually one of those photos where we can actually see star birth. So that is what's going on here in this image, though it looks like we almost have mountains. A lot of these images holding on to those vivid colors. And this is only just a few that NASA has released for us this week. Even a few showing not only galaxies, but even well beyond that. This is the Southern Ring Nebula that we have, and you're going to find still more of those vivid colors. All of these images, well beyond where we are at. You actually are going to have to travel not only a couple miles, not only a few thousand miles, but we're talking light years. So light years is the distance that our light will travel, of course, in 1 year. And well, light travels at about 186,000 miles per second. Fairly fast. I don't think that we can quite travel that fast yet, but in 1 year, that's what we're going to be looking at, this distance. So when we're talking and looking at these photos and we're able to see them, but they say that they're maybe 4 to 7 billion light years away, well, I'll let you do the math, because in that year, it takes us 6 trillion miles to travel a light year within that time frame. So you can do the math, times that out, 6 trillion times 4.7 billion potentially, and that's going to be traveling at the speed of light to get there. So it's going to take us a long time to get there, but we have our James Webb Telescope able to grab those photos for us. This was actually launched on Christmas Day in 2021. It cost about $10 billion to create this, and you can see it's not very small by any stretch. Of course, to scale, having it a little bit higher up, this is a big telescope, and this actually weighs over 14,000 pounds. And of course, though, that is out in space doing all that development and seeing what is well beyond our stars and asteroids, and even well behind what's behind the moon. Now, July, though, a little bit closer, maybe not so far away, and what you can see with your own eyes is our moon. And for the month of July, we have the buck moon. Actually, at 5 a.m. Wednesday morning, in its revolution, it was at its closest point to the Earth. So you may have missed that. But the one thing that you can kind of remember the buck moon for is it's this time of year that the buck's antlers are actually hitting that full growth and development stage. So that's where the name comes from. I'm sure you've heard a lot of these other names, and one that you've probably also seen on social media is that we have a supermoon. So what we're seeing with this month in this supermoon, that it's 14% bigger in appearance, and it's also 30% brighter in appearance because it is so much closer. But to the naked eye, it's kind of hard to see that because this supermoon is still 221,948 miles away from Earth. So still a distance. If you were traveling from Toledo, driving all the way to San Francisco, it would take you 94 trips in that one direction to equal out the distance from the Earth to where the moon was earlier this morning. But we still have that full moon. That's actually going to be occurring today at 2:48 p.m. And yes, I know you're saying, hey, that's still during the daylight. Well, we are going to have that full moon that's still going to be here into the evening, though it won't be at that peak time frame. If you're looking at the moon tonight, you're going to still have a pretty good view of that. But as far as the brightness and also the size, it is just going to be hard to tell because that difference that we talked about is going to be very small. So you'll just be able to enjoy the moon, and hopefully the clouds don't get in the way. The rainfall that we've had, well, any lingering clouds, they're going to be pulled off towards southeast Michigan and right along the state line. So we will have that chance for a few clouds here and there through this evening, and we'll see those mainly west of I-75. So if you're east of there, you should have no problem as far as that viewing. But also don't forget to get some sleep. We're talking about these clear conditions during the night. But also it could be an early wake-up call if you want to see the International Space Station. That's actually going to be flying over Thursday morning at 4:22 a.m. So set your alarm extra early. It will be visible for 7 minutes, so it will be well worth it. You can climb into bed shortly after 4:30, and it will actually appear off towards the northwest direction. And then as it goes across the sky for that 7 minutes, we'll see that disappear towards the east-southeast. So we should have those clear conditions, not only see the moon tonight, but the space station tomorrow. And also, if you want to see more images from what the James Webb Telescope is catching, make sure you head to WTOL.com. We have so much more information there for you.